Right, guys, welcome back to another tier list video. In today's video, I'm going to be ranking the best to worst drinks that you should be consuming as a footballer who wants to make it professional. Now, there's tons of drinks out there, but I've gathered the top 20 drinks, most popular drinks, and I'm going to be rating them from S tier, the things you should actually consume on a regular day basis if you actually want to make it professionally in football, versus all the way down to the L tier, the things you should absolutely avoid if you want to become a professional, and just avoid in general because of your health. You're health aware. You don't want to reduce your lifespan for another 5, 10 years. You don't want to develop any chronic illnesses, diseases. So these are the things that you want to avoid, and these are the things that you want to drink pretty much every single day. We're going to be covering exactly every single thing in the next 10 to 15 minutes. So let's get right into it. Before we do that, guys, I want to talk to you guys about why you should listen to me, who I am, and why what I'm saying actually matters. So if you guys are new to the channel, you don't know much about me, let me actually just make this a bit smaller. Okay, if you don't know who I am, my name is Ali. I'm a 19 years old professional player currently playing here in Spain. You know, when I was 14, I was a shy, skinny bench warmer who had no hopes, but a dream. You know, at 15, I switched clubs. I wasn't really improving, and I switched clubs. At 16, when everything clicked for me, you know, I started working 2 jobs at the same time while I'm in my semi-professional debut, because I invested into myself with school, nutrition, having a mentor who could help me with football specifically, who helped me get into that, semi-professional men's environment, making my debut at the age of 16 in front of a whole stadium, as you can see. At 17, I captained that exact semi-professional team, got an award in front of hundreds of people at my school because I got a top 1% mark in the whole of my country, Australia, which got me in the best university of my country, Sydney University of Australia, where I pursued my education, enhanced my knowledge on training, nutrition, everything through my 4-year degree, which is currently on pause due to my professional status. But I got a strength and conditioning certificate, and I worked on my nutrition at the age of 17. Then I started coaching, transferring that knowledge onto my students in person in Sydney, Australia. I got like 50 plus students there. While I was, moving up to the ranks in football as well, I went ahead and played in the highest youth division in Spain, Division del Norte, at the age of 18. Before, at the age of 19, I got picked up by a professional club here in Spain, the Alcorcon, coaching a lot more people online instead of in person, because I'm in Spain, doing online coaching through my program, EFA, as you guys can see, influencing 200 plus parents and players, making those players a player that I am much better than I am in the next few years. And yeah, this is just the beginning, building a lot more through, these videos, these educational videos as well. My goal is to help as many of you guys with your journey also. So let me just put myself here. We'll get right into it. Let me just, I don't know where to put my self. Okay, I'll leave it here. Okay, let's get right into it. First things first, we got black coffee. Okay, black coffee actually increases testosterone in a dose-dependent manner. So it's an androgenic drink, okay? It increases the androgen receptor sensitivity. If you guys don't know what the androgens are, it's essentially parts of your body where you're putting on the muscle, you look bigger, essentially. To put it in very simple terms, you have androgens here in your traps, chest, shoulders. Those are androgen receptors. And drinking black coffee through high-quality black coffee beans actually increases the androgen receptor sensitivity, meaning that testosterone can enter the cells, bind, and express the effects way more efficiently. So for that reason, I'm going to put it in S tier. I wouldn't recommend it to all footballers, however, especially kids. This is more recommended for people with heavy training load, who have jobs, who play at a professional level like myself, who have a lot of things to do in life. They want that extra amount of energy and the benefits of androgenic receptor sensitivity as well. So I'm going to put it in S tier, but I wouldn't recommend to young footballers, not now. Okay. Next up, we have coconut water. Now, there's lots of coconut water out there, but coconut water is a phenomenal electrolyte drink, and it's amazing for footballers because we need electrolytes for any athlete, really. It has a huge amount of potassium, and it's great for footballers, like I said, because it hydrates you and supports performance and avoids, cramp-resistant drink. But I'm only putting it in B tier for now because you're living, because I'm living in Europe, where at the moment we're not getting enough sunlight, and it's the drink is higher in deuterium. It's a chemical, deuterium, and that can actually stack over time. So you don't want to be drinking one every single day if you're not living in an environment where there isn't as much sun, because the deuterium can only be flushed away with sun exposure. And if you're not living in an environment where there isn't much sun, I wouldn't be drinking every single day. So I'm going to put it in the B for that reason. And just make sure when you're shopping for coconut water, make sure it's one ingredient, 100% coconut water. Okay, there's a lot of brands have added ingredients. Avoid those ones. Go for the single ingredient coconut water. But yeah, it's an amazing drink for athletes, for footballers, because if you're training hard, you're going to be sweating a lot. You need to be replenishing those sweat, and this is one of the amazing ways to do so. Next one we have, let's start with this one. We have watermelon juice. Now, watermelon juice is basically a performance hydration cheat code for footballers because it's water plus fast consumable carbs, and it supports the pumps that you get in the gym and the blood flow. So it's an amazing pre-session or post-session drink, whether you're going to the gym, whether you're going to the field, even match. When you need a quick fuel to essentially top up that performance. But it's not something that I'd have, I'd be sipping every single day, all day, because it's still liquid that contains a lot of sugar, and the return on investment is best when it's used around training time. So I'd put it like a strong B tier. If you're using it like an athlete and not like a casual treat, I would put it in the B tier. Next up, we have a green smoothie. Now, almost every single green smoothie, when you see it, it might look really healthy, but every green smoothie out there pretty much is just spinach. It contains spinach, and what you're really drinking is a literal oxalate potion that's going to stack and lead to kidney stones. My dad actually has kidney stones. He was eating lots of vegetables as well when he was growing up, but I don't know if that's because of the vegetables. But for those who aren't familiar, I'm just getting. For those who aren't familiar, what oxalates are, essentially plant defense chemicals that every single plant, especially the green vegetables, have. That tells the insects and the bugs to like not eat them. It's the plants naturally produce the plant defense chemicals, and these chemicals include oxalates, lectins, phytic acid, and there's so much more. Oxalates being the primary one, and it could actually lead to kidney stone risk in the long term. So it will nuke your body with also crystals and hurt your health, because the micronutrition in spinach and green plants like kale isn't really bioavailable like people think. Your body can only detox about like 50 milligrams of oxalates in a single day if you're living an optimal lifestyle. And 50 milligrams of oxalates a day from these smoothies can easily stack up over time. And when you're blending it up with spinach, with the kale, all these things, you can actually reach one cup of spinach. Just to put it into perspective, one cup of spinach has about 600 milligrams of oxalate. So if you're doing this regularly, you're just playing with your health, you're stacking up this oxalate count in the body. That's going to take so long to detox. Even if you're living in a healthy living environment and lifestyle, it's still going to take a very long time to detox. So for that reason, because of the high oxalate, high plant defense chemical count, and the fact that it's going to disrupt your gut and lead to kidney stones most likely in the future, I'm going to put it in the F tier. The only reason why it's not L is because you're still getting some sort of water from it. But it's just not something I would recommend at all. Next up we have is fresh squeezed orange juice. Now, fresh squeezed orange juice is basically a rocket fuel for footballers because it's extremely high in vitamin C, but it's an elite energy source also for the metabolism. It's a performance enhancing source, essentially, when you time it right around training, and it's just like an overall amazing drink. But I'm only going to put it in the B tier for now, because it doesn't directly relate to increasing that testosterone and the energy levels that you need as a footballer to really boost your performance. But truly, it's a very good drink, so I'm going to put it in the B tier for now. Next up, we have the green tea. Now, green tea is one of those niche drinks where people think that it's automatically healthy because it looks green and it's a tea, but it can actually have negative side effects on DHT, which is the male hormone, and 5-alpha reductase. And if you understand that DHT is the big masculine driver for hormone, for motivation, for drive, for androgen receptor sensitivity, and just masculine gene expression, basically everything that makes you feel like a man, from the DHT then rather than testosterone, then you're going to understand why I wouldn't recommend this on a regular basis, because it disrupts with the DHT production. So it's going to be in the D tier for now. And no, one cup here and there of the green tea isn't really going to hurt, but still it is a negative thing. So I wouldn't put it so much high. I'm going to put it in the D tier if you are here to optimize your health and performance. Okay. Next up, on the topic of teas, tea that comes from packets are literally hyper concentrated microplastic packets. So every time you drop a tea bag into the hot water, That hot water is like a glue. It literally strips away the microplastics. You're saturating that drink with microplastic endocrine disruptors that interfere with testosterone production, that interfere with testosterone even working properly in the cells, that bind to the cells and have its effects. So for that reason, the tea from these packets is going to go all the way down to L tier. It's just pretty much lowest of the lowest, and you should not be doing it. You should not be drinking it at all because of the microplastic content, which can disrupt with your hormones. Next up, we have instant coffee. Instant coffee can still be a solid stimulant for footballers because of the caffeine, similar to the black coffee beans. However, it can also give you that aggression. So the focus and output when you need it will be actually very, very beneficial for you. But the quality is usually lower than black coffee beans. So it's easier to overdo. It's a bit more addicting. And if you're using it like a crutch, you're going to trash sleep. You're going to ruin your recovery, which is what testosterone comes into play. If you're consuming caffeine, like 8 hours around before, like 8 hours you sleep. So if I sleep at 10 and I have coffee at 3 p.m., 4 p.m. or later, then it's going to interfere with your recovery, and that's where testosterone comes into a big play. So it's going to absolutely trunk your performance. So it's like a use it tool and not like a lifestyle thing. Sometimes if you want to use it, you can absolutely use it, but it's not something you should be having on a regular day basis. So for that reason, I'm going to put it into B tier. It's below these drinks for sure. I'm going to put it into B tier because it can, if it's timed well, it will help with the performance, give you that stimulant that you need for the football match, for the training, but it drops fast if it's low quality and if it messes with your sleep. So I'm going to put it in the B tier for that reason. Next up, we have raw milk. Now, I'm going to put it here. Raw milk is just a top tier anabolic drink because it's packed with enzymes, it's packed with beneficial bacteria, the natural peptides and growth factors that increase growth, the growth hormone, the luteinizing hormone. And milk is literally designed to put weight on a baby mammal. So it's going to do the same in your body as a human. So it's going to be in the S tier all the way. The toppest of the toppest will actually make you a professional. We'll see footballers like Haaland absolutely spamming raw milk, and look at him. Growth, he's still growing and he has an amazing physique, great performance, highest score in the Premier League. Okay, now is that because he drinks raw milk? Not really, but it's one of the many contributors to his success and performance. So it's going to be an S tier, and the key is like to go for an A2 milk. Okay, so don't go for like raw milk is going to help regardless, but try to go the highest of the highest are going to be A2 grade raw milk. So A2, A1 type of proteins. They essentially take away the A1 protein and just keep the A2 type of protein inside raw milk. That's the one I would recommend because conventional A1 milk converts to the chemical compound, which is BCM7, which stands for like beta casomorphin 7 in the gut, and it binds into opioid receptors, slows down digestion, contributes to gut inflammation, and it's just not what humans have evolved to deal with over the last century. So raw A2 is the best option you have. But even pasteurized A2 is still sold. So if you can't get raw, just go for regular A2 milk that's been pasteurized. Just I would avoid, to put it simply, I would avoid A1 milk. So the same with, that's why I put the two milks next to each other. So regular milk, a conventional A1 dairy, like where the conventional A1 cow milk is not what you want as a footballer. Like I said, if you're optimizing, because the A1 protein is framed as estrogenic and inflammatory, it can also convert to BCM7, like I said, in your gut and bind to the opioid receptors and slow down digestion, which contributes to the gut inflammation, giving that pimples, this bad mood and poor stamina. And even if you tolerate it well, which a lot of people don't do, that's why people are lactose intolerant. It's because they drink shit like this and they think, oh yeah, that I'm just genetically, because they're not drinking proper raw milk with A2 grade as well. Even if you can tolerate it well, like some people, it doesn't mean that you're not getting the negative effects in the background. So the best case forward, you move forward with having A2 type of milk, even if it's pasteurized, or just go for the raw milk A2. Or just non-cow dairy like goat, sheep, or buffalo milk is also pretty good. Those are a bit hard and rare to find, but still those are very, very beneficial. So I'm going to put it, this one I would put it, if we're talking about conventional A1, F2. Go for A2, pasteurized or raw. Okay, that's the best way to put it. Last one on the milk, topic of milk, fake milk, I call it. Oh, but soy milk's actually healthy, but almond milk's actually healthy, or oat milk is healthy. No, terrible. Fake milk. This is what I call fake milk. These are anti-health potions in this framework because this business model, the companies who sell oat milk, almond milk, soy milk, whatever, these ones, these companies, the whole business model is to profit first. So what they do is they take the lowest quality inputs, process them, and often even add emulsifiers, and sometimes even most of the time with soy milk, even add seed oils, and you end up with something that's either an oxalate mold toxin, or you just end up with the glucose heavy processed drink, which a lot of oat milks actually have. Or out of those two, you even have a third option, which is going to be just a hormone disruptor narrative, like the soy milk. So unless you've found a super clean ingredient version, you're pretty much basically paying to drink a processed, compromised version. And I put it more of this in the F tier. Actually, I would put it in the L tier because just soy literally reduces testosterone. Almond is full of oxalates, and oats again high in phytic acid, which is another plant defense chemical. So again, that's going to disrupt your gut. Just something I would not recommend. It's going to be between F tier. I'll put it. Yeah, I just put F tier. Honestly, I would not recommend it. Next one, we have a quite popular trend, matcha. Matcha is basically green tea turned up in intensity, so you're getting a stronger stimulant hit when you're drinking this compound. That's why it tastes like grass. Is very bitter for the people who drink it for the first time, which makes it actually useful for focus and training for footballers. However, if you're taking the DHT matters for masculine drive and performance, then it still sits in the category of like not a daily habit. I wouldn't drink this every single day. If you truly want to optimize your performance on the field, how you feel, how you perform, then it's going to be like a D to D tier type of drink. I would have it every now and then, very similar. See the pattern with the green drinks? Like you shouldn't really have it. It's not something you drink every day, but you could have it like once in a while if you really want. But again, who actually likes the taste of matcha? Who actually likes the taste of this? Who actually likes the taste of this? Like green. Avoid green essentially. But talking about avoiding green, the only green you shouldn't really avoid is actually yerba mate. Yerba mate, you guys may have already seen yerba mate as a footballer. Messi drink this a lot. A lot of South American players drink this a lot. Spanish, Latinos drink this a lot. It's a very popular cultural drink. Yerba mate is actually a very solid form of caffeine, and I would rate it higher than these green drinks because it can be a clean performance stimulant for footballers. But the problem is it's usually in a can line. They usually serve this in cans, like the soft drink cans that contains BPA and endocrine disrupting chemicals. And if your drink is literally housed in hormone disrupting packaging, then you're going to be consuming it the same way, and drinking it is going to be a massive problem. So it has to go down in the F tier. But if you drink it in this exact photo, so you get the gourd for it, the bombilla, you get a proper brand yerba mate like Pladito, Rosamonte, Canarias, these top end yerba mate, and you drink it with the gourd, with the nice straw, metal, wooden. Then it's gonna be in the A tier for me for footballers. It doesn't have as much caffeine as black coffee. A lot of footballers drink it before the game because again it gives you that stimulant, and it has a lot of antioxidants like flavonoids. So that's another thing that a lot of you guys might not be aware, it has antioxidants, which is an amazing source of nutrient as well. Next up, we have fruit juices. Now, fruit juices, conventional like store bought fruit juices, are usually diabolical in its conventional framing because they sit in vats and these packets for a very long period of time. And over these long period of time, because no one actually buys them, besides like mothers for little kids thinking it's healthy, they lose flavor. And when they lose flavor, companies add flavor packets back into these drinks over time. And they don't actually have to be transparently listed in the ingredient list on the back the way you think. Just because, an ingredient, a packaged food says the ingredient on the back, doesn't mean that covers the whole story. Sometimes you can actually have a bit more added ingredients and amounts than you might think like in this case. So what these companies do, once it sits on the shelves for a very long time, it loses flavor. And to actually sell and make it taste good, they have to add these flavor packets. They don't list it on the back of the ingredient list. They essentially sit in plastic and leach microplastics over time because of this constant re-adding procedure. And if you're just basically drinking processed sugar in a bottle with hidden variables and microplastics, so this is going to go all the way down to L tier, sugar, preservatives, microplastics. You just don't want to drink it at all. It's not as healthy as you guys think. Next up, we have a quite funny one. Well, let me put this up. We have Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid is literally you just dumping a packet of sugar and dye into your water, probably tap water. So you're supplementing endocrine disruptors on purpose and asking for a weaker immune system. And this framing goes straight into like the question of, do you want birth defects and autism for your children in the future? Like that's literally no harsh thing. This drink, this packaged powder with endocrine disruptors, with food dyes, and with plenty of processed sugar, high fructose corn syrup. This has literally been like directly linked. There's so many studies on this, you can look it up. Has been linked with birth defects and autism for children. So unless you want your children in the future to have birth defects or autism, don't drink this. Okay, I'm going to put a L, the lowest of the lowest. Avoid this if you want to go professional. Okay, you can get the same purple grape Kool-Aid taste from other things as well, like just watermelon juice, raw honey, orange juice. Like just there's so many natural alternatives, and yet you want to put sugar packets into your tap water. Come on. Next up, we have soda. You guys already know this. Regular soda is the exact same as just like soda, diet soda in its framework. Diet soda is just contains a bit more chemicals without the sugar, without the high fructose corn syrup. It contains aspartame, which is a way worse chemical that can really disrupt your health and cause chronic illnesses. So that's really the difference between diet soda and regular soda. It's just the difference of aspartame, the chemical compound. But pretty much all soda is made from cheap water, junk processing, and the difference is that it's loaded with high fructose corn syrup plus the caramel coloring, which is framed as a synthetic dye. So it's a never consumed type of drink for me, and it's going all the way down in the L tier. Sparkling water, next one I think we have, or I'll go with sparkling water. Sparkling water is actually a hydration hack. If you guys think that tap water alone is fine, it's actually not fine. Sparkling water will hydrate you way more than tap water without the negative side effects as well. So it's totally, completely recommended for footballers. I would actually have this every single day because it has minerals. Like especially if you're getting brands like Saratoga, Pellegrino, or even just don't go for those plastic ones. Get the glass mineral sparkling water. It can help you drink more fluids, like these ones over the day, and just stay more consistent. But if it's sitting in like questionable packaging, like plastic packaging, or you're just chugging it right before training and it kind of just bloats your gut, then it becomes a performance negative. You should just kind of take light sips throughout the day with your meals before training to really hydrate yourself. But if you do it the opposite way, you just chug a lot of it, you drink it from plastic sources, then it just becomes a negative. So it's going to be an S tier still, but just don't drink so much of it at once. Just drink it over the day in small amounts. Next up, we have, I'm going to go tap water actually. Tap water is ranked as a disaster. Now, you guys will be like, oh, tap water in my country is actually healthy. Tap water in everywhere is unhealthy, just more unhealthy in some countries than other ones. Okay, it just has less fluoride, it just has less growth pills in the system than other countries. So they're all going to be unhealthy. I would avoid this at all costs. It's a disaster. I'm talking about my point of disaster. It's a disaster because they claim that the water treatment plants can't filter hormone-like particles and trace pharmaceuticals. Then they add chlorine and fluoride, which they label as neurotoxic. It's literally a neurotoxic chemical. The exact same chemicals that are used for pool cleaning and bug sprays. And the frame just becomes, full of microplastics, heavy metals, and estrogenic contaminants that are just Terrible for your health, terrible for your longevity, terrible for your genetics. So the only way you should be drinking tap water, like in my opinion, is if you have a filter. If you have a reverse osmosis filtered water, you like convert it with your tap or the systems at your house to create a reverse osmosis filter system to give you clean water without the heavy metals, without the neurotoxic chemicals like chlorine, fluoride, all this stuff. Then I would recommend reverse osmosis tap water. However, uh, with reverse osmosis, and you can remineralize with remineralize it with sea salt, high quality sea salt, like electrolytes or trace minerals. But besides that, if we talk about purely tap water, then this is going to be all there in F tier. Drink it if you really, really have to, but it's not going to really hydrate you. It's just going to give you chemicals like chlorine, fluoride, which are neurotoxic chemicals. So I wouldn't recommend. Just go for sparkling water instead, or drink fruit juices, or coconut water, or any other drink above, essentially. Next up, we have kefir. Now, kefir is phenomenal. A lot of you guys, I'm surprised how many of you guys don't know what kefir is. Kefir is phenomenal drink for gut health and fermentation benefits. But in this exact logic, the conventional, kefir, the one you normally see in plastic bottles at the market, um, is quite low rated because it's still A1 dairy. Like I talked about earlier about the milk, it's still A1 dairy, and you're still getting the exposure to the A1 beta casomorphin pathway, even though the fermentation reduces kind of reduced with the kefir because it's more fermented. So in that case, if it's just regular store-bought plastic A1 kefir, I would put it in like the D tier or the F tier. However, if you are going, like I said with the raw milk example, if you're going for A2 in a glass format like you're seeing here, it's an amazing probiotic. It's going to benefit your gut health because of its fermentation benefits. It's going to give you clear skin, and it has a decent amount of calories as well. So if you're looking to bulk up and put on some muscle, there's a good amount of protein and calories in there. So it's an amazing drink. I'm going to put it in the S tier if it's A2 raw kefir. Okay. Next up, we have Gatorade, red Gatorade, but pretty much any color, doesn't really matter. Gatorade is literally regardless of the color. It's just red 40 water or blue 5, yellow 6 water, whatever color you go for, mixed with sugar. And next to no meaningful electrolytes. Like if you look at the ingredient list and you compare it to like coconut water or an actual electrolyte source, you will see that this has pretty much no electrolytes. And the big issue with Gatorade or Powerade or any other sports drink out there is the artificial food dyes that are inside these drinks, and as well as the high fructose corn syrup. So but with the high fructose corn syrup plus the sugar content, plus the food coloring, the food dyes, the over consumption or any consumption of these products is diabolical. So the counterproductive for athletes, as opposed to drinking red 40, you can literally just go get coconut water, raw honey, watermelon juice, whatever. And for that reason, because of its estrogenic or endocrine disrupting reasons, food dyes, artificial sugars, high fructose corn syrup, and what else do we say? Just food dyes, and it's going straight to the L tier, lowest of the lowest. Avoid it at all costs if you actually want to go professional in football. Now, next up we have protein drinks. Now, protein powder drinks or RTD shakes is what people call it. So RTD stands for ready to drink. And these protein shakes, like the example that I used before about the milk, these contain a lot of A1 casein and whey concentrate. Seed oils like high oleic sunflower, safflower, grapeseed oils. What else? Yeah, oleic sunflower oil high up on the label. And if you guys didn't know, like if you look at the back of the ingredient list of any food, the higher up it is on the ingredient list, the more of it has. And you'll realize a lot of these protein powder shakes or just protein drinks will have a lot of seed oils quite high up, and the A1 casein and the whey protein concentrate on the high, which disrupts with your gut heaps, which is very inflammatory. The lower the ingredient is on that list, the less it contains. And obviously, if it doesn't include it, if there's nothing on the list, then there's nothing on it. Only in the case of like this stuff, Sometimes they can add ingredients that aren't listed, but for pretty much every other food product out there, the higher up it is on the ingredient list, the more it has, the lower it is, the lower total amount it has. So with protein powder drinks, the natural and artificial flavors are pretty much hiding. The preservatives like sodium, hexamethoxate, carrageen harming gut integrity, sucralose, the hurting the gut microbiome, and the whole thing just becomes a gut and hormone nightmare drinks for our footballers, for any athlete out there. It's not something I would recommend. So for that specific reason, I'm going to put this all the way in the L tier, because it's just, if you want to destroy your gut, drink it. Okay. If you don't want to destroy your gut, if you want to have a healthy gut and get the same amount of protein or similar, drink this one or drink this one. It's that simple. Lastly, on the list, I'm going to end it with energy drinks. I'll put White Monster because it's the most popular, but energy drinks like White Monster or any other drinks aren't even energy drinks. Like, because they're, you might not realize it, because they're housed in a can-lined manufacturing with BPAs, with endocrine disruptors, and you're basically drinking chemical exposure with stimulants added on top of it. So they're going to land all at the bottom in the L tier for me, the lowest of the low. And the message behind the reasoning is that you should be using a way cleaner caffeine source in cleaner containers, instead of microplastics, instead of BPAs, instead of endocrine disrupting packaging like these metal cans, thin lines with BPA. Just go for glass coffee. It's going to give you the same amount of caffeine. Even your mate, you can drink it from a gourd like this, bombilla, the straw as well. It's going to provide you with that caffeine without the effects of BPA, without the effects of forever chemicals that are inside these energy drinks, like aspartame as well. That could actually link to chronic illness, like we mentioned before. This is like, you should be staying away. And I'll put it simply: you drink any of these drinks on the very bottom of the list, they taste good, right? I don't know about this one, but pretty much all of them taste amazing. Like, don't you think a little bit like, oh, well, is this normal? Like, a drink should not be taste this good and be healthy, because it's absolutely true. If something tastes so good, then it's probably not healthy. If something tastes like also really disgusting, then it's probably not healthy for you. Something just needs to taste like decent, not amazing, not terrible. Most of the time, I'm not saying it's every time this is true. Like, there's some things that taste amazing and are healthy. There's some things that taste bad and also healthy. But like, if you're drinking something that's just tastes super good, and if you're eating something that tastes super good, then it's probably not healthy for you. Think about it in that perspective. But yeah, that's pretty much all the lists we have, all the rankings. Let me know what you guys think of this. For me, based on my experience, I've tried all these drinks. I've had all of these drinks in my life. I've seen people consume these drinks. I've seen the people who consume these drinks a lot, how they ended up, what health problems they had, what injuries they faced. I've seen the people like myself who drink these on a regular day basis, these type of drinks. I've seen how our health have improved, how our performance have improved. So based on all these factors, this is my genuine opinion on all these drinks. But again, if you found something useful, comment below. If you think this is a wrong list, if you disagree with this list right here, also comment below. I would love to hear your inputs and what you guys think. But regardless, I hope this was a pretty valuable video for all of you guys to watch. Again, I'd rather post long videos like this, almost 40 minutes long, talk about everything raw and naturally, and just give you guys insight. Yeah, it might be boring. It might not have dopamine release in your body because of the fast and flashy 10-minute long edits. But my purpose is to educate. My purpose isn't to brain rot you guys and show you like flashy edited videos. My purpose is to educate, and this is the best way to do so. Again, let me know